See, data cleaning we will be learning in the last few sessions, and data cleaning you have to do both for qualitative and quantitative data. So we will be learning data cleaning for quantitative data. For qualitative data, you can one of the ways of analysis is this, the thematic analysis. Cleaning would be, you know, maybe some reviews that are incomplete or that are empty. You can, once you extracted, let's say first 50 or 100 reviews, so some of the reviews are empty or one word or two words are written which doesn't make, so you can maybe remove them as a part of the sample. So cleaning is, which means getting to the data which is complete and meaningful. So in quantitative we will be looking at the data cleaning. Yeah, very good. So one of the ideas that is coming up, let's say if the review is written by a different motive, let's say it is intentionally written to falsify or to damage the reputation of a particular company. So now those problems will be there, those issues will be there when you are getting the data directly from the reviews. So that's why, let's say when you extract 100 reviews, some of these will, so let's say if in 100, 1 or 2 reviews are like that, they might be actually, their effect might be very minimized because out of 100 only 1 or 2 are like that. So you can actually neutralize their effect to some extent. But let's say when you are reading also, let's say when you will read those 100 reviews and from your reading you can understand that something doesn't look genuine, then you can put a question mark. Maybe get it verified from somebody else who, if he or she also says that this looks to be fishy, then you could leave out that. So some checks and balances you would have to do. So secondary data I would not I would not discuss further. The idea is secondary data is not costly, it is inexpensive. So that is why it is inexpensive, you get it very fast. So you need not wait for a month's time to get that data and to start looking at the business issue. That is why it is very, very useful. But you will have to look at the credibility of the secondary data, quality, and you should know how to do the analysis. Now the second one is qualitative research. Qualitative research is qualitative research where the data will be qualitative, which means in the form of words, paragraphs, sentences, symbols that cannot be quantified. That is qualitative research. Here it is written that primary data you will collect from qualitative research, but qualitative, mostly we use this term. The main characteristic is the data is in the form of qualitative stuff, which is words, sentences. So which means even secondary data can be qualitative data. But when we use the term qualitative research, we generally mean that we are going to conduct interviews, focus groups, and that is the kind of data which is primary data. Now, there are reasons we use qualitative research to get more insights about a business issue, but there are some advantages over the quantitative research. The first one, if you look at the first point, respondents, what are some of the areas where qualitative research can be used in addition to the areas that we already know in exploratory research? What are some of the other areas? Let's say when you are going to discuss about an issue which is sensitive. Let's say you want to ask about, are you, as it is written, are you taking drugs for nervous tension or pills for anxiety? It's very difficult that people would say truth. So even again, coming back to the same thing, if I ask all of you how many of you have taken bath today morning, I will not get the right answer. So sometimes when the issue is sensitive, or whenever the issue is sensitive, the qualitative research comes handy, because if you give questionnaire, people can easily, either they will not fill or they might lie. Sometimes when you are, the second point, if you look at, sometimes when we want to go to the reason for somebody did something, bought something, from the quantitative sort of questionnaire, let's say if in the questionnaire you are giving an open-ended question, why did you purchase this sports car? Somebody might say, I got a great deal, or my old car was falling apart. If you give a questionnaire saying, why did you buy a new car or sports car, you might get similar kind of reasons. But the problem is, people can hide the real reason when they are answering a questionnaire which is sent to them. The real reason might be that this person's neighbor has purchased a sports car, which we know that if our neighbors have purchased a expensive car, or neighborhood, not one or two families have purchased, so either we would be tempted to buy a new car, or our family would make us buy a new car, right? So the real reason might be hidden. In this case, buying the sports car might be related to, I am feeling inferior because everybody around in my neighborhood, or 3 or 4 of my close friends in my neighborhood have a sports car. That's why I bought a sports car. But they would write this reason, I got a great deal, or my old car. Nobody will say I started feeling inferior with my friends who had a sports car. That's why I bought. Or nobody will say I wanted to impress my secretary. That is why I bought sports car. Nobody will say. Everybody will write that I bought this sports car because I was, I was getting a good deal. So that's what happens in questionnaires. People can hide the real information that you will get out in the qualitative research. The last one, to discover sensory feelings important to the customers. So sometimes the feelings are very difficult. Some of the feelings, experiences are very difficult to express in words, or very difficult to write them or mark them in numbers. Let's say somebody who has done scuba diving or bungee jumping, if you ask about what was the experience, can you get that experience in certain words? So in that case, what will be more insightful is conducting qualitative research where the experience or feelings would be more richer explained than giving a survey where it was thrilling. So there are different forms of qualitative research procedures. So qualitative research, there are broadly 2 types. One is direct non-disguised research and indirect disguised. Direct non-disguised is when the research is conducted and the customers are told in the direct qualitative research about the purpose of the study. In non-disguised, we do not tell the customer the purpose of the study. So non-disguised, we tell the customer the purpose of the study. And in indirect disguise, we do not directly, or we sometimes hide the purpose of the study, or we do not directly state it. So there are two sorts of qualitative. In direct, there are focus groups and depth interviews, and in indirect, there are projective techniques. So we will look at all these techniques. So what is the direct technique? As I said, no. What is the meaning of direct? Means we indirect, non-disguised, we tell the customer why they are being interviewed. They know the purpose. Whereas indirect, you don't tell, or you indirectly say, you do not directly say.
So then sometimes YouTube randomly gives a questionnaire in a form of advertisement for a particular video. Those are indirect.
No. See, YouTube is giving because you are watching YouTube free. So they are asking, can you reciprocate the favor? I fill the survey because I don't pay to YouTube. So I fill their survey. At least something I give back, right? But you have a choice. One has the choice to skip the surveys as well. So focus groups is a direct technique. So it's a very expensive technique as well. So even only one, I think, decade back, again in Western countries, let's say America, the cost of one focus group used to start from $4,000. So what is a focus group? It is a direct technique, right? In focus group, it's a sort of group interview or conversation. In focus group, you call the selected participants to a focus group facility, which is a little informal sort of facility. You call them into a focus group facility, a sort of very, let's say, informal, friendly atmosphere, or you call them to a spacious room and make them sit around a table. So you call the selected sample to talk about a particular topic. So in focus group, when you are invited certain participants to the focus group, you pre-screen the participants for their participation and then invite some of them. When you invite, you make them sit around a table, circular table, where the moderator in focus group, there is a moderator who would start the focus group and who will moderate the discussion around a particular topic. It is a form of qualitative research, which means data will be in the form of paragraphs, sentences, ideas, and so on. And you would obtain insights about a particular topic. In focus groups, you are trying to gather different ideas. You are not trying to converge to a particular idea. So people can differ. They can express their own opinions. So what happens in a focus group? You pre-screen certain people, invite them to a facility where there is a spacious room, table is there, they are seated around, you are moderator, and you have a certain unstructured, you have certain questions regarding a business issue to ask to them, and they feel free to share their things about the questions you ask. It is like a group conversation. It goes for generally 2 hours and it is recorded, video and audio recorded. Generally you call a homogeneous group, not the heterogeneous group, which means the group that has similar sort of characteristics related to the issue at hand. which means let's say you want to know what women enjoy watching at their televisions. Let's say Sony television, they are conducting a study on TV watching experience of women. So they would have one group of working women, another group of non-working women, but they cannot get them together, because then it might not go as per expectation. There might be clashes, or because they are not similar, they don't have similar characteristics with respect to issue at hand, they might not open up. It is again a technique which can be used to get to a probable cause. Many a times this technique is used to identify, to generate new product ideas. McDonald's used this technique in America in 2009 when they were noting that their sales dipped, and their pizza was rated at that time in the national survey among the lowest in the national ranking for pizza. So they conducted focus group to identify what is wrong with Domino's pizza. So what happens, the moderator is there, the one who will moderate the focus group, who is the kind of person who will make everybody feel relaxed and initiate the conversation and somehow direct the conversation, keep the conversation on the topic. But it is a kind of free flowing conversation, and the questions will be given in between by the moderator. The role is to make it informal and let everybody speak. This focus group about TV watching or what kind of movie watching and so on, they are conducted in India. For Indian audience also this is conducted. Now a moderator, the one who is going to do focus group, would have a moderator outline, which means an outline would have sequence of activities. You have to welcome everybody, make them feel comfortable, introduce the topic, and then what is the first question, what will be the next series of questions. So they have to go like that. We are going to look at a particular focus group discussion so that you get more idea about what is a focus group. Whatever I said, did it make sense? Did you get to know what could be, what is happening in a focus group?
So its focus group in this interview is similar to exploratory research.
It is focus groups are exploratory in nature because you are trying to get insights and ideas about a business situation or an opportunity. So let's look at one of the focus group